Hello and welcome to Zulf Photography. Today we're going to be covering the topic of which memory card to buy for your DSLR camera. If you don't know already, I'm Zulf and I make videos about photography, gear, lenses, unboxings, talk about photos and how to make them better. Here's a quick trailer you can see about what I do, and what we'll be covering today, I'll get straight to the point, is memory cards. This is a live stream, so if you haven't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe and click the notification icon so future notifications come directly to you so you can participate in the conversation. Memory cards, there's loads of memory cards out there, so I'm hoping to give you a better understanding about memory cards, what the numbers mean in the front of the memory cards, and how you can find the best type for you. So here you'll see I've got a quick down shot of some of my cards that I use, and these cards are wearing mostly SanDisk. I've got Alexa and a Samsung in there as well. But what do all the numbers mean? If I bring you up to this camera, which is the clearest, the other cameras are action cameras, so you may not be able to read the numbers. But I've got a SanDisk memory card here. So if I show you this SanDisk, I quickly focus in on numbers. Let's have a quick look. There you go. This is a 16 GB SanDisk card, and there's some numbers on there. So we've got the 10 is class. What they mean by class is you're shooting and you use your camera. If it's writing large images onto file, then those images, just make sure I'm in focus. Get there slowly. There we go. Okay. So basically, because I messed the focus up there, it's gonna be a doodah. And let's just get that back up. There we go. Okay, so I'll give you a quick look at that. And that memory card that I showed you there was a SanDisk card. That SanDisk card is a 16 GB SanDisk card. It's an SD card, and I might even put up a photo. It might be easier to show you that because camera quality on the live stream is only 720p. Probably can't see anything properly anymore. Oh, here we go. Oh, that action camera's not bad there. There you go. So you can see extreme and 16 GB. Smaller numbers you're probably hard pushed to see. It says 45 megabytes a second on there, and that refers to the speed and how much it writes. So for example, if I was taking a photograph and it's shot in RAW format on a DSLR camera, that image can be anything from, depending on the lighting and the detail in the shot, 30 megabytes and 60 megabytes. So at 45 megabytes a second, it will write that per second. Then that's how long your buffer will take. If you are not familiar with these terms and you're new, what I would suggest is get a memory card. I would say SanDisk, because you'll see here all of mine, most of mine are SanDisk. SanDisk, 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 and there's only one Samsung and one Lexar in there. So you'll see 2, 4, 6 of them are SanDisk. They've never let me down. And there's all sorts of cards out there people recommend to you. There's a few things to keep in mind. The pricing, if it's too cheap and you're buying it online, when I say too cheap, I'm talking you're finding 16 GB for £5, then there's an issue there. I've done a whole separate video about memory cards and making sure you don't get a counterfeit one. If it's fake, it won't write to the speeds that you think it would write to. So it's a whole new world out there now. So people tend to lie, especially the ones that come from abroad, the China ones. They actually rebrand the cards, give you like a different branding, saying they're class 10, they're actually class 2 maybe. So people blame their cameras. If they've got a new camera, they'll be like, oh, why is the photos taking so long to be written? Why is it buffering? Why is it stopping? I would suggest Lexar also make good cards. I've had Lexar for a while, this one, just to test it to see how it performs. If I quickly show you that Lexar, there's an 8 GB card. This is a slightly different card because it's a CF card. And CF card I use in the 5D Mark II. That takes the bigger cards, these ones. My 550D Canon takes a smaller SD cards. Majority of Canons, Nikons will take this card, the SD card. So if you're shopping online, have a look at the SanDisk Extreme card. And keep in mind, there are different types of brands out there you can look at. PNY makes some, Transcend makes some, there's Kingston makes some. But as long as you're buying from a legitimate source, you should be okay. So if you're buying a new camera and you've come here basically just to see which card to get, I would say buy a SanDisk. If you're in the UK, pop into Argos, they're an approved seller for SanDisk. Buy a legit card. You can use those in your cameras. I even use the small SanDisk cards, the micro ones for my mobile. Yes, I will look in the top down shot. Let me see if I can get there. So that's the micro SD. Right at all. Get you on this shot. But yeah, you basically know what they look like, don't you? Right. No point. Okay, so that's the card. What I would suggest is if you're looking at different cameras, when you're buying the camera, buy it and then buy the memory card so that you've got good standard that you can test it on. So when you test your memory cards, from in your camera, take a few shots, you'll see how they buffer. What you can also do is I've got a separate video of testing your speed of your memory cards using a software on the computer, which you can do. If you're looking to buy a memory card and how to buy a memory card, I would say go into a store, buy it. Online, you can buy it from approved dealers. However, what is happening now is a lot of these cheaper cards are making it through online sales stores, so they actually are selling what you would buy on eBay. And there's loads of new makes coming out as well. So keep that in mind. And the speed on the card is dependent on your camera. So if you're writing at high speeds and you're shooting in RAW, if you're not familiar with that, I've got a separate video to explain the difference between RAW and JPEG. RAW is basically a negative image. It's got all the detail there that you can play with. JPEG is just a snapshot of the photo basically. And then if you do too much changing in that, then you'll start to notice the difference in photo quality. So I would suggest SanDisk. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I've just used them for a long amount of time. I've not had any failures or any details lost on the cards. So I'm hoping this helps explain if you're new to memory cards to some extent. I'll probably make a more detailed video about this because overall really. But what I will do is I'll link you to that video about memory cards. It's a playlist, so you can check out all those in that video segment on the right. On the left is what YouTube thinks you should be watching. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe so I can get you in the live streams and answer any questions you've got next time. If not, just put your comments down below. I'll get back to you, and I'll catch you on the next one.